Right now, a mystery on Lake Monona has some experts worried about those looking to do winter activities this weekend.
Also, Madison police giving an update on a north side bank that got robbed twice in about a week.
And later, a nationwide teacher shortage being felt right here in Wisconsin. How some states are trying to fill those empty positions. We welcome you to News 3 Now at 6.
I'm south. Shots fired. Suspect is down. Get your hands out. Get your hands out to your sides. Get your hands out to your sides right now.
As we begin with breaking news, you just heard the moments after a Dane County deputy shot and killed a man in Oregon last fall. The Dane County DA's office concluding this afternoon the deputy is not criminally liable.
The shooting happened in the village of Oregon back on October 23rd. You were looking at just released pictures of the aftermath. Carlos Jimenez had reportedly threatened a woman's life with a gun. When the detective found Jimenez, he told him to drop his gun. According to the DA, Jimenez raised his gun at the deputy. The detective fired his weapon, shooting Jimenez. Despite life-saving measures, Jimenez died at the scene. The Dane County Sheriff's Office will now begin its own administrative review of the shooting.
Right now, a hard-to-miss gap of open water and thin ice can be found on the southeast side of Lake Monona.
And with so many activities taking place there this winter, your safety is top of mind for those keeping an eye on the lake. Nicole Herzog spoke with officials about that gap in the ice today. Nicole?
Yeah, Madison area lake experts are calling it a mystery, and if snow falls on that patch, the ice may look thicker than it is. That's creating even more area for concern.
I was quite surprised the first time I came across it.
The Dane County Marine and Trail Enforcement Bureau first saw a patch of open water and thin ice on Lake Monona in mid-January when they were crossing the lake on an airboat. Now, they're noticing the gap getting bigger.
I don't know or understand why it's worse. It was probably 80 yards wide the first time we came across.
Just why there's an unfrozen patch in the middle of a cold winter is still a mystery for many Madison area lake experts. Some ice fishermen have attributed it to a crack in the ice that heaved against itself, causing the ice to melt. Ice fishing, walking, and even hosting events on the frozen lakes is common during Madison winters. But Sergeant Kyle McNally says people should proceed with caution.
You'll never hear me say it's safe to go. You have to use your own eyes and your own observations of each part of the lake.
In order to stay safe, he recommends traveling on the ice in pairs and keeping a close eye on the conditions of the lake.
We're going to go ice fishing here. You could come and see that ice looks different than the rest. That's just a no-go for you.
For those that have to work on the lakes, McNally says they wear float suits and carry ice picks to avoid danger.
The lakes are cool. There's plenty of outdoor activities to enjoy on them, but you have to be safe to do so.
Of course, it's always best to err on the side of caution. Sergeant McNally says if you're not positive that it's safe, steering clear of the ice is the best option.
And let's check the first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi.
Well, temperatures certainly been cold enough to make more ice, but going another 24 hours into the future, we're seeing temperatures back up above the freezing mark. The time lapse from the WISC-TV Skycam shows some sunshine this morning and then just some hazy cloud cover moving in this afternoon. You can see a little sun peeking through from time to time, but that's not bringing any precipitation. In fact, on Doppler track, just a few flurries up in the northern portion of the state. And skies will actually start clearing out later on tonight. Low temperatures this morning, below zero across the entire state, closer to zero near Lake Michigan. Madison was at 8 below zero, but to our north and west, 19 below zero in Black River Falls, 10 below zero in La Crosse. And high temperatures today only made it into the single digits. Madison hit 5, Janesville hit 7, so did La Crosse. And right now, we're at that high temperature for the day of 5 degrees, at least here in Madison. Across Dane County, temperatures are in the single digits like they are across the rest of southern Wisconsin. 6 right now in Verona and Mount Horeb, 5 degrees in Sun Prairie. You factor in the winds, and this is what it feels like. Generally between about 5 and 10 degrees below zero. We could see those wind chills drop briefly to around 20 below zero once winds start picking up later on this evening, but those temperatures are going to hold nearly steady this evening as skies start to clear a little bit toward late evening, and then temperatures will start rising overnight, and that will set up some mild weather beginning tomorrow. I'll tell you how long that will last in just a few minutes.
And stay up to date on the weather on our First Warn Forecast weather app. It has hourly forecast, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. President Joe Biden is coming to the Madison area next week following the State of the Union address. On Wednesday, February 8th, the president will discuss his economic plan and how he says it's creating good-paying union jobs and delivering real results. The last time President Biden was in Wisconsin was Labor Day last year in Milwaukee.
We have an update to 2 bank robberies at the same UW credit union on Madison's north side. A person of interest is now in custody. Madison police say that person is in custody related to outstanding warrants. Both robberies happened within a week of each other. In both cases, the robber passed a note demanding money and then left with an undisclosed amount. That money has not been recovered. Police say a number of pieces of evidence led to the person they believe is responsible. A 51-year-old man faces charges of possession of child pornography after Madison police searched his residence. That search happened along East Gilman yesterday afternoon. Police say the man had been the suspect of an ongoing investigation. He's currently being held in the Dane County Jail.
Watertown police are investigating after a threat of violence was made to students to the Watertown Unified School District. It was determined that there was no immediate threat. 2 juveniles have been questioned with initial information indicating charges will be referred to Jefferson County Human Services and District Attorney's Office.
In Jefferson, an elementary school remains closed after a water main burst on Wednesday. The water flooded the basement and the hallways of the 80-year-old school. Classes were canceled yesterday and today as well. As a result, last November, a referendum to upgrade the building was passed, which included the pipes and plumbing. Now that fix will happen earlier than expected.
It's a headache, but luckily we've got great people doing the right work. So the parents have been great. Our staff has been fantastic. We have great people in the district working on this, and then we've also contracted with some companies that we have complete faith in.
Now, no work was done today due to the weather, but will continue over the weekend. Ernest anticipates the school will be back open on Monday. Department of Agriculture wants to make school breakfasts and lunches healthier. The agency unveiling new proposed guidelines to reduce both sugar and sodium in food served in school cafeterias. Changes would happen gradually over time. By next year, schools would start phasing out refined grains in favor of whole grains. By 2025, sugar in sweetened yogurts, muffins, cereals, and chocolate milk would be reduced, and sodium cut by 10%. The USDA also plans to invest $100 million to help cafeterias update their kitchens.
A nationwide teacher shortage is leaving thousands of students without educators in grades K through 12. 10th grader Layla Bevins started fall classes at one city schools in Madison, but a lack of teachers forced the school to shut down classes for 9th and 10th graders. The school CEO, Colleen Kerr, said the school lost 5 core academic teachers since the beginning of the school year. The National Council on Teacher Equality says from 2021 to 2023, 23 states have lowered teacher qualification requirements.
When states respond to shortages by reducing standards rather than by increasing salaries and improving working conditions, what they're doing is creating a vicious cycle. So they get people in who are underprepared. Those people leave at 2 to 3 times the rate of those who've come in with preparation.
There are many reasons why teachers are leaving the profession nationwide, including low pay and social issues with students. Educators are also facing culture wars over what they can and cannot teach in the classroom.
After a controversial free speech survey on UW campuses came to a close this week, UW System President Jay Rothman sat down with us one-on-one to explain the scope of what these results mean. More than half of all 10,000 students who responded say they feel they cannot fully express themselves in class on controversial topics. These kinds of takeaways that Rothman feel this survey takes on both state and nationwide meaning.
This is the broadest based and biggest survey that any university system has done. We think it's an important point to start there because that's the benchmark from which we can start to continue to encourage civil dialogue, because that's really where we want to get to.
Early on in survey development, it was put on pause after UW-Whitewater's chancellor resigned over it. We're addressing that controversy with Rothman and Naomi Cole's full conversation with him. That's coming up Sunday on For the Record at 10:30 a.m.
Coming up, the largest nonprofit pet expo in the state gets set to kick off this weekend.
Also an update on the current flu season, what the CDC is saying about current influenza cases when we come back.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, Our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Steinhaffel's super clearance sale is happening this weekend only. Take an additional 20% off our already low clearance center prices. Hundreds of sofas, sectionals, chairs, and so much more. All 20% off. New markdowns have just been taken. Everything must go. Get in early for the best selection because when it's gone, it's gone. So don't wait. Get to Steinhaffel's super clearance sale this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Relax. It's Steinhaffel's.
Sir Jenian's 93-year history means you pay $93 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet. Get carpet and pad in your old carpet removed and recycled. Our competitors can't match it. Ask about 12-month financing. Local, sustainable Sir Jenian's.
Menards is your home improvement destination. Why settle for a plain ceiling when there are so many stylish and durable ceiling options? Armstrong ceiling tiles come in a variety of styles that are easy to install. Then give any room a fresh look with the beauty and durability of Mohawk tile. Add a stylish finishing touch to your home with Logan Springs charcoal ceramic tile. Right now, just $119 each. Save big money in your next project now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team gets results.
We're taking action for you.
Nearly 700 cases closed, more than $500,000 recovered, and we're not finished yet. When you need help, call for action only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Flu season appears to be winding down. The CDC reports flu rates this week are about as low as they were in early October. The flu peaked early this year in late November, but overall it's been a fairly typical year. 25 million illnesses, 280,000 hospitalizations, and 17,000 deaths. RSV and COVID-19 infections have also been trending down.
32 deer at a farm in Vernon County have been culled due to detection of chronic wasting disease. The Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection quarantined the deer farm in September when a 3-year-old white-tailed buck tested positive for CWD. Of the 32 deer herd, 4 tested positive for the disease. It's a deadly neurological disease caused by a protein particle that infects the animal's brain. The disease is spread through direct animal-to-animal contact or by contact with saliva, urine, feces, blood, and carcass parts of an infected animal or infected soil. Well, this Saturday, dozens of animal shelters, animal retailers, and rescues are returning for the Great Lakes Pet Expo. The expo is back after a 2-year hiatus. Located on the State Fairgrounds in West Dallas, the 18th annual expo offers 143,000 feet of pet-loving shopping, entertainment, and adoptables. It runs from 10 to 5. Tickets are $7. Veterans and kids under 12 get in for free. And due to the large crowds, personal pets are not allowed, but service dogs are welcome.
In case you missed it, Madison Magazine's Best of Madison is now taking nominations for 2023. You can nominate any geographically local person, place, or thing to do in the wide variety of categories. Round 1 of voting ends February 28th. You can vote once per day at each category per valid email address. Head to channel3000.com to pick your nominees. Still ahead, it's a story you'll only see on News 3 Now. Eviction filings are going back up. Some tenants are getting less than a week's notice.
After the break, how the battle between landlords and tenants over evictions could change under the new federal blueprint for a renter's Bill of Rights.
And temperatures going back up this weekend. Gary has the latest when we come back.
Right now is absolutely the best time of year to buy furniture, and Slumberland Furniture is the best place during our huge President's Sale. Check out this gorgeous sectional, and it comes with a free ottoman, plus so much more during our huge President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture.
There's nothing like volunteering at the fire department.
There's nothing like hitting the waves.
But with my moderate to severe eczema, it hasn't always been easy.
Since my skin was so irritated and itchy.
And even worse with all my gear on.
Now, I'm staying ahead of my eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion. And Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema. So adults can have long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a powerful thing.
Ask your eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal your skin from within.
Do you feel stuck living in a cold and drafty home? Well, there's a better solution than just turning up the heat. Because heating your home is by far the most expensive part of your energy bills. At USA Insulation, we fix cold homes. Most houses are built with builder's grade insulation. So when we fill your walls with our high efficiency foam, your house stays warm without turning up the heat, which saves you a lot of money. So call now and save up to 30% with the brand new energy credit.
USA Insulation.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Looking at mattresses?
Buying a mattress can be uncomfortable. That's why Slumberland has modernized the process. Right now at our huge President's Sale, get this Sealy Posturepedic mattress for $5.99. Slumberland, mattress shopping reinvented.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Eviction filings in Wisconsin are back to pre-pandemic levels. Throughout last fall, the state saw at least 2,000 per month.
Now a court filing doesn't necessarily mean the eviction happens, but it does mean an often permanent black mark on a renter's record. Naomi Cole shows us how the feds are trying to tip the scales back in favor of renters' rights.
I announced an emergency order that will suspend evictions and foreclosures.
It started here.
Amid the COVID-19 public health emergency.
As early in 2020, renters and landlords' lives were appended.
Eviction moratorium can't last forever.
The Biden administration has allowed the federal moratorium on evictions to expire.
The pandemic has permanently changed the conversation around renters' rights, sometimes with life-changing disruptions, such as when single mom Sylvia Rodriguez of Fitchburg fought back this eviction shortly after the national moratorium ended.
I'm just afraid now that I've seen what they can do to me.
Given this hot rental market, we're seeing this happen over and over again.
Other times, it's the push and pull between local landlords and tenants who feel they should be getting just a bit more.
My wife and I bought the place in 2013, the fall of 2013, so we've been here about 10 years.
Such as when Cliff and Kurt Wilkerson in Columbia County balked at a recent rent increase at their mobile home park. And Cliff ended up with a 5-day eviction notice after he wouldn't re-sign the lease.
When I looked at it, I mean, to me, it was a strong arm tactic with the threat of eviction.
The only option I have was to do an eviction because he refused to sign it.
It's these types of situations that Professor Mitch at UW has spent years teaching law students how to resolve.
More than, I think it's about 35% of people in the country are renting.
President Biden has launched a federal push to permanently improve renters' rights. This blueprint for a renter's bill of rights is largely, for now, a collection of ideas.
The states and local governments are being encouraged to look at this blueprint.
Part of that bill of rights is looking at ways to stop massive rent hikes and to require a 30-day eviction notice instead of the 5-day eviction that's legal in Wisconsin right now.
Despite all of the efforts to provide extra funding and even slow down and briefly have a moratorium on evictions, there's still, hundreds of thousands of people facing evictions across the country. There are thousands of people in Wisconsin facing eviction every single year.
But the blueprint doesn't mean much yet for Wisconsin.
The current state is that more needs to be done.
For News 3 Now, I'm Naomi Cole.
If you're looking for a breakdown of evictions in Wisconsin month by month, head online right now to channel3000.com.
Chilly temperatures tonight, but then things start warming back up. Here's Gary with his complete forecast.
Yeah, last night temperatures were in the single digits and teens below zero across the entire state of Wisconsin. Milwaukee dropped to 1 below zero, but it was 8 below here in Madison, 10 below zero in La Crosse, and close to 20 below zero in the northern portion of the state. But as we take a look at 3 things you need to know, mild weather and above normal temperatures starts tomorrow and lasts through all of next week. It also will be dry this weekend through most of Monday. The next chance of precipitation in the form of some rain showers Monday night. And there'll be a couple of periods of some either rain showers or a mix of rain and snow showers next week, with those temperatures remaining above normal. In fact, the high temperature trend shows that the average high temperature goes from 28 to 30. Look where we'll be. Mid-30s this weekend, 40 on Monday, upper 30s on Tuesday, low 40s Wednesday and Thursday. And even when we turn a little colder at the end of next week, those temperatures are still above normal. And looking farther out into the future, the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center calling for above normal temperatures for basically the eastern half of the country, at the highest probability is just to the east of Madison. Western part of the country stays cold, and we see above normal precipitation. We'll see almost daily chances for either some rain or snow next week. Most of the precipitation will be light, and I don't think there'll be any accumulating snow, at least at this point. The jet stream continues to surge northward in the central part of the country. That's the milder area that's developing out to the west of us. And once that jet stream goes from a northwesterly flow to a southwesterly flow, we'll start to see our temperatures climb, and that will happen later on tonight and into this weekend. There's also a warm front out to the west of us. Winds right now pretty light because high pressure is over us, but notice out to the west those winds become more southerly, and that will start the warm up as we head into the latter part of tonight and then into the weekend. So it's still pretty cold right now. Single-digit temperatures through most of Wisconsin, even some below zero temperatures up in northern Minnesota. But compared to 24 hours ago, notice those temperatures are warmer. We're actually a little bit colder because remember we were in the 20s yesterday. The cold front had just come through about this time, but the wind chills right now a little more tolerable. Single digits to lower teens below zero. Still pretty cold up in northern Minnesota, but as our temperatures rise and the winds start to pick up out of the south, that'll actually improve our wind chills as we head into tomorrow morning. So planning your night, low temperature early this evening, 3 in Middleton and Madison, but by later on tonight, we're looking for temperatures to be closer to 10 in Dalyville, Verona, and Windsor, with mostly clear skies once the clouds clear out after midnight. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, low of 11 in Fond du Lac, 6 in Wautoma, and 13 in Janesville. Again, this will be later tonight. Our forecast for tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning, then turning cloudy, breezy, and milder in the afternoon, but we'll go from 8 below zero early this morning to 35 by tomorrow afternoon. So that's a pretty decent temperature swing over about 36 hours. In the 7 to 10 day forecast, our first one 7 to 10 day forecast, 35 on Sunday as well, 40 on Monday with some rain showers in the afternoon. That could mix with snow before ending on Tuesday morning. Wednesday will be dry and mild, highs in the lower 40s. Lower 40s on Thursday with some rain showers. That could change to some flurries Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and maybe some rain and snow showers Monday the following week. But again, those high temperatures still a little bit above normal for this time of year.
And we're live at the Kohl Center for Wisconsin's Fill the Bowl game against St. Cloud State, while the Badgers say they can't wait to hit the ice. That's next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
As a coach, we don't like distractions, and so I'm providing a real crazy distraction to him Friday night, so I'm not sure that that's good on my end.
The crazy distraction Mark Johnson's talking about, tonight's Fill the Bowl. Wisconsin's taking on St. Cloud State at the Kohl Center with hopes of breaking the NCAA attendance record, you know, the one they set back in 2017. Now the number to break, 15,359. As far as the game goes, it's going to be a little different. For one, the ice sheet is bigger than the one the Badgers are used to skating on at LeBon. So Mark Johnson had them practice at the Kohl Center on Thursday to get a feel of how it's going to be against the Huskies.
A little wider, a little bit bigger. We do some things in practice just to prepare for that. Try to do different drills to, simulate how it's going to feel. But, we just got to play our game. It won't really matter how big the ice is.
Whatever happens in between the boards, whether they're 96.5 feet wide like they are at the Kohl Center or they're 90 feet wide at LeBon, you got to play the game. Both teams are playing on the same surface, and then you just play.
Tonight is the 7th Fill the Bowl in Wisconsin women's hockey history, the first since 2020. This year's captain, Britta Curl, played in that one and had the game-winning goal in overtime. So she knows what to expect once the Badgers hit the ice during pregame warm-ups and remembers just how cool playing at the Kohl Center was.
I just remember, stepping on the ice and laughing my entire first lap, just out loud. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So I think, I don't know, just that feeling of looking around and seeing how many people support you and want to see your product is really cool and special.
Before the puck drops, it's going to be huge for me to just soak it all in and just realize what a big opportunity that is for us. But at the end of the day, there's 3 points on the line for the game. And so when that puck drops, we have to be ready to go.
Now the puck drops at 7, and the team is asking if you're coming to bring new or gently used hockey equipment to donate to Madison Ice Inc. to help future generations play hockey. And of course, we'll have full highlights coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 10. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Zach at the Kohl Center. Zach, thank you. Let's go to Gary for a final check of the forecast.
It's still kind of cold out there. The live view from the Edgewater Skycam, skies have clouded up. Can't really tell from that, but it's a thin overcast, not affecting temperatures too much. Right now, they're pretty steady, right in the middle single digits. 5 in Madison, 6 in in Edgerton, 5 degrees in Deerfield, and those temperatures are still in the single digits across all of southern Wisconsin. You factor in the winds, and right now we're seeing wind chills generally below 0, between about maybe 5 and 10 degrees below 0, but conditions will improve later tonight.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.